Friday, fun day, let's do some sports. Okraku was elected president of the GFA a year ago and has changed the narrative by being transparent and accountable to the football fraternity. This, coupled with a Bring Back the Love agenda, has won over the hearts of many football-loving Ghanaians. Now let's quickly move on to the EPL match week review, and I'm doing this with Blake Walton of Sky Sports and Isaac Fannin of the BBC Sports Africa. Hi guys.
Hey guys.
Hi, Selwyn.
Oh, great, fantastic. So yesterday Pep Guardiola extended his time with Manchester City, and he feels there is unfinished business. I guess he's talking about the Champions League trophy that has eluded him since leaving Barcelona, right? To start with Isaac.
Yeah, I think so. He was brought to Manchester City to win the Champions League, and he's unfortunately been unable to do that. I think the problem with City has been that when they face teams that have been really disciplined, they've not really had a plan B. You know, their plan A is so good, they've not really been able to kind of adapt and overcome the teams that they face, especially in the Champions League. We saw that with Lyon, and we saw that with Spurs the season before. So it'll be interesting if he can win the Champions League in the 2 seasons that he has decided to sign on for.
Now, Blake, Pep has won the FA Cup, he has won the EFL Cup, he's won the Premier League. There's one trophy Manchester City are looking up. I mean, Abu Dhabi is all looking for the Champions League to come to Manchester City. Blake, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. As you said, his win ratio is nearly 74%, and I think he's picked up something ridiculous like a piece of silverware every 31 games. But as you said, the Champions League is the one that's eluded him. So that's what the project's been all about. And I think City fans and that will be, really relieved that he signed the new deal. It shows that the hierarchy are still committed to him and believe he's the guy that's going to bring that Champions League trophy, and he's still committed to the project as well. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be an exciting, next 2 years. He's not been as long in a football club as manager anywhere else, and he really also has to kind of oversee a rebuilding and project as well, and an evolution of the squad, which is something he's arguably never done at Barca or Bayern as well.
Well, still with Blake, and they are playing. Manchester City is playing against Tottenham Hotspur now. Mourinho, this is his first anniversary since he joined the club, Tottenham. What do you think he has brought since he came?
I think it's been a great relationship, to be honest. I think it's as much a case of what Spurs has brought to Jose as much as Jose's brought to Spurs. Obviously, when he replaced Pochettino, no one thought it would go as well as it has. But, under Pochettino, Spurs was struggling post-Champions League final. And obviously, Mourinho, his reputation was slightly dented after United. And he was a bit of a dour sort of persona and suggest he wasn't enjoying his football. Now at Spurs, riding high, they seem to breathe new life into him. He's talking about wearing Spurs pyjamas in his first press conference. He's posting entertaining Instagram. And he's kind of also raised players to another level as well. Harry Kane, who would have thought he could have got even better, but he has. And they're getting a winning mentality slowly. They're definitely going to be up there this season.
Now, Isaac, no matter where Mourinho goes, he's won. Whatever reservations you have about his style of play, people say he's too defensive. But wherever he's gone, he's won. Isaac, do you think Mourinho can give Tottenham some trophies?
I absolutely believe Mourinho can get Spurs some trophies. I think we've seen it recently with the mentality of the team. They've actually been able to win games that maybe they would have lost in the past. I think against West Brom, Harry Kane scoring a last-minute winner there to get them the 3 points. Again against Burnley, where Son was the scorer in that game. He's building, that mentality of winning games that, classically Spurs have either lost or not drawn. So I think he definitely will bring kind of a winning mentality to the team. I think they are my dark horse to maybe win the Premier League. I think, like Blake said, it is a bit of a match made in heaven. They work out quite well to each other. And I think because of the coronavirus pandemic, I think the pressure is almost off because he doesn't have fans in the stadium. If they have a poor performance, they've been able to kind of ride that out a little bit. So I definitely think Mourinho and Spurs can be a match made in heaven and win trophies.
All right. Now, Blake, let's move on to the other title challengers. Now, Liverpool. It looks like the season is really getting difficult. They have so much bad luck with the injuries coming in. Do they have to strengthen in January?
Yeah, Liverpool, obviously, you know, things have gone from bad to worse with the international break. Gomez, Henderson now out, Salah obviously out due to coronavirus, Alexander-Arnold, Robertson. So they could end up playing Leicester without their normal back four. But, you know, they're still only lost once this season. And as I've said previously, this season is going to be a battle of attrition more than anything. You know, that no side's going to run away with the title. And I think if they avoid defeat, you know, they will surpass their unbeaten home league record of 63 games. But it will be tough against, you know, Leicester, who are flying, and with the injuries. Will they strengthen January? I don't think so. You know, they could if the right player at the right price comes along, but they don't panic buy and they don't deviate from their business model. And, you know, they have got some good youngsters that can kind of act as sort of a band-aid over the issues and the injuries they've got until, you know, some of their main players like Gomez perhaps comes back. So, you know, I don't think they're going to. Maybe a loan, but I'd be very, very surprised if a major signing's made.
Isaac, do you think Jurgen Klopp is going to be looking into the academy to find some players? We've seen Nat Phillips coming through. Or would you have to say that, oh, we have some tournaments to play. We have Champions League and other trophies. The Premier League's also up for grabs. They might just go look for some experienced player to bring in?
Well, Liverpool as a club has always tried to bring in players from their academy. I think, as Blake said, they don't tend to panic buy. I think we've seen, you know, players come into the Liverpool squad and do okay. I think Phillips will definitely fit the bill for a while. They've still got Matip, who is obviously a Cameroonian. So hopefully, you know, playing alongside, he will have played alongside Van Dijk for a number of seasons now, and hopefully he'll be able to kind of use his experience to help the young players that will be playing alongside him whilst they kind of deal with this injury period. So I think Liverpool will be just fine. I think there's so much quality in that squad that, you know, I don't see the kind of blip that they're going through in terms of injuries to affect them. I think they'll be up there and thereabouts at the end of the season. Okay,
so Newcastle versus Chelsea. Isaac, we can see that Chelsea are looking very good now. There's a new balance. Lampard seems to be comfortable with the team he has. Edward Mendy, the goalkeeper, is keeping the clean sheets. How are they going to do at St. James's Park?
Do you know what? I think the form is looking good. But remember, Newcastle beat Chelsea last time they went to St. James's Park earlier this year. Newcastle have had a bit of a poor period. They lost to Southampton. I would not be surprised if there was a surprise. I think if you look at the way in which Newcastle are set up, they're set up to be a defensive side and to allow big teams to come onto them. And so if Chelsea aren't able to score early, then I think it could go the same way that it did back in January when the two sides met and they scored a last-minute winner, Newcastle. So I wouldn't believe that it's going to be an easy game for Chelsea to come back to, especially off the back of an international break.
Okay, Blake, so Newcastle lost to Southampton the last time. But then do you feel Steve Bruce has his team organised this time at home?
I'm going to have to sort of slightly disagree with Isaac, I'm afraid, here. I think the big problem is obviously Callum Wilson. He's been carrying injury and he's been a big player since he's arrived. He's declared himself fit, which is a massive boost for them. But I can't see anything other than a Chelsea win. I'm going to probably jinx them now by saying that. But as we said, you know, they're flying at the moment. As you said, Selwyn, they're striking the right balance throughout the team, not conceding, scoring a ton of goals. Mendy in goal has been brilliant. I think since he's come in, you know, they've only sort of conceded 1 goal in the 7 in all competitions. And yeah, I as I said, there's no easy games in the Premier League, but I think the Chelsea side that, you know, Newcastle are facing is very different from the last one that they beat. So, sorry Newcastle, but I can see only sort of 3 points and Frank Lampard's revolution marching on.
Right.
Remember, they haven't got Thiago Silva, so Thiago Silva may miss out. So that defensive period, we could see go back to the poor defensive leaky Chelsea, but it will be very unlikely.
All right, we'll see about that. Okay, so Isaac, since you're here now, Manchester United versus West Brom. United, it's always up and down. It's always up and down. The last time, even West Brom's record in Old Trafford has been looking good recently. At home again, United meet West Brom. Old Trafford form hasn't been good. What do you see in this one?
I genuinely cannot see West Brom beating Manchester United or getting anything against Manchester United. But United have been really, really poor at home. They've struggled all season. They haven't been able to win a game at home. I think United will have way too much for West Brom. They hope that Rashford will be fit to get back. Bruno Fernandes obviously scoring those 2 goals. They were brilliant against Everton. So I can see United finally breaking their duck at Old Trafford and getting their first home win of the season. Okay,
Blake, does Slaven Bilic have any strength at Old Trafford this time?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. I do think, as I say, I agree with Isaac. They've not scored in 4 of the last 5. They've not won so far in the league so far. So you would think it's a home banker for Manchester United. But then, as I said, United 3 defeats and a draw so far at home. It might give them a glimmer of took the win over Everton before the international break. It seems like United have turned a corner. They took some of the pressure off Ollie. But how many times have we said that? United seem to constantly turn so many corners. They're going around in a circle.
Yeah.
So as I said, and they're still quite away from the top of the table. They're more closer to relegation, but I think they will sneak it. But I don't think, obviously, they should win it comfortably. But I think that they'll make it harder work for themselves than it should be.
Okay, so Leeds United versus Arsenal. Marcelo Bielsa has been someone that we've all loved to see in the Premier League. But the last game against Crystal Palace wasn't good. What are they going to do to get themselves back against Arsenal?
Bielsa's all about playing high octane and adrenaline football, and I don't think that's going to change. Leeds under Bielsa has a massive identity, a strong identity, and I don't think it'll worry them that they lost last time out before the international break. They'll carry on doing what they did in the Championship. They had blips, and they always came back stronger from the blips, and that's why they got promoted in the end. So I expect Bielsa's side to be straight in the faces of Arsenal, and I think Arsenal, that they'll be kind of looking for a reaction after their defeat against Aston Villa last time out. But it's not going to be an easy place for them to get a result. Thomas Partey's absence, massive blow. Arteta in his press conference was saying it was a significant injury, but not putting a time scale on it, which is always a bit of a worry. And then obviously you've got Mohammed El-Neni out as well. So he's calling on Joe Willock to step up. And I think obviously it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for the Gunners.
Okay, Isaac, Mikel Arteta lost to Villa the last time. What is he going to tell his boys to get himself up at Ellen Road?
Well, they need to win this. I think it's probably the worst place they could go, I would have thought, after the way in which they were defeated and humbled against Aston Villa. I think this is the exact type of game that Leeds will relish. They've done really, really well against the big teams in the Premier League so far, in terms of they ran Liverpool really close early on in the season. They drew with Manchester City, and they won't take a step back. And I think, as Blake alluded to there, not having Thomas Partey, who's been a revelation since he joined the club, I think that will be a really, really big loss. And to lose El-Neni as well on top of that will be really, really difficult. So I think it will be a tough game for both teams. I think Arsenal may just about sneak it, but I think it will be difficult.
Fantastic, guys, and that was Blake Walton and Isaac Fanning giving us the Premier League preview. We are hoping to speak to them on Monday for the review of the Premier League. So So let's move on to the Ghana Premier League and the fixtures that we'll be having this weekend. We'll start with Techima 11 Wonders versus Ebusian Aduas. Great Olympics will be playing against Legon Cities. Bechem United versus WAFU. Hearts of Oak are back. Will be playing against Ashanti Gold. Brekum Chelsea versus Asante Kotoko. Dreams FC versus Mediama. Kim Faisal and Indiana Stars. Elmina Sharks will be hosting Liberty Professionals, and Karela United will be hosting Inter Allies. So that's it all for MX Breaks on Sports. I am Selwyn Saki. Keep watching MX24.